This program is scheduled for one fall.
Glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
Hello. Welcome, ladies and sirs, to this program is scheduled for one fall. My name is SilentMark. I'll be your MC for this evening. This program is brought to you by Big Show's Special Shiraz, because nothing says class quite like wine made by a giant baby with a goatee. So, on today's show, we will be talking wrestling. We'll be talking quite a bit about what happened on Saturday's show for Alpha Omega Wrestling. I'm just talking about stuff in general, really. But, so let me introduce my cast for this evening, shall we say. And pretty much introducing first... journalist, Beyond Radio's very own resident, author of Holy Grail, and subject of our special section tonight, Make Greg Win Again. It's Greg the Truth Lambert, who isn't here. Lambert hasn't showed up yet. We'll discuss more about probably why very, very soon. So let me introduce his opponent, who's probably going to win automatically. Human, co-host and co-creator of another Monday evening show, Alpha Omega's very own interviewer, and proud owner of 37 Hulk Hogan wigs, which, to be honest, are pretty much just blonde Mick Miller ones. It's Evil Lewis.
That's right.
You right?
That's right.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Good.
Other than my headphones are broken again.
Again?
Yeah, why have I got broken headphones?
That's not fun.
No, they're all like... It's like someone's playing a kazoo in one ear
Right.
whilst I'm talking.
Nice.
Fantastic.
That's one we'll have to get sorted.
Yeah, so what's the deal with Lambert?
Not come in yet. Don't know why. Just hasn't come in yet.
Well, I mean... It's pretty shoddy of him, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
very, very much so.
You know.
Very
And considering he's not here to defend himself against such accusations from me, you know, he's very... yeah. Just poor show, Lambert. Poor show.
Well, that's the thing. He's had quite a weekend, shall we say.
Little bit, yeah.
Which we'll talk about in a second.
Sure.
Because we have a special guest in the studio. We were going to have him anyway, but now Lambert's not here. We might as well use it to our advantage. Introducing Evil Lewis's tag team partner. When the music comes up. Oh, that's not working straight away. That's nice. Oh,
Yeah.
Funs and games.
Technical difficulties, yo.
There we go. Alpha Omega lead honcho, former referee, bow tie enthusiast, and a man who shouts "Now kiss" when everyone goes face to face in the ring. It's Charles Nelson Riley. How's it going, sir?
Yeah, I do. I'm not too bad. How are you, sir?
I'm not too bad.
Excellent.
Not too bad at all.
No, I'm liking Greg Lambert's seat. It's quite comfortable.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Not too sure if there's intentionally this in the base, but never mind. I'll leave it there. Leave things as you find them. That's how my mum told
Very
me.
true. Very,
Yeah.
very true.
Is that an eggplant?
I'm saying nothing.
Okay.
Oh well. I love you, Greg. Wherever you are.
So, yeah. Oh, hang on.
Hello.
Things are happening.
What are you going to do? What are you doing?
I don't know. Really don't know. So, Saturday happened.
Yeah, it did.
Alpha Omega, Golden Bath.
Golden
Not
bath.
Golden Bath.
Not quite.
It's kind of like the shower, but it just bathed in it
You
longer.
just got to ease into it.
Yeah. So, how did it go from your side, Charles?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's been pretty much universal praise for the show from the fans. Everyone loved it. 300 plus strong crowd, which is always good. As always, the shows are there to raise money for the Winter Garden. So the more people there, the more go to the bar, the more money in the Winter Garden's coffers. So fantastic.
Exactly.
And of course, the stick streak continues.
Well, that's I think that well, we know that's the reason that Lambert hasn't.
Well, we can
turned up.
assume that's the reason. He's
Yeah.
probably like sat crying into, I don't know.
Sulking a bit, doing a cry,
Yeah.
etc.
Like looking at pictures,
etc.
old pictures of himself, back when he had hair.
Yeah.
Oh, those were
Having-
good days.
Having a bit of a cry,
Yeah.
or a lot of a cry, even.
Oh,
you know.
I'm sure that's not the problem. There'll be traffic issues or something. There'll have some sort of logical conclusion to this situation. But he definitely wasn't happy. I mean, that main event was quite an emotional match from any point of view. If you're a Styx fan, a Nathan Cruz fan, a Greg Lambert, or the Greg Lambert fan.
Yeah.
You mean Greg Lambert?
Genuinely, the best thing that I found on Saturday, was a young kid being persuaded by Katie on the merch table to buy a Greg Lambert T-shirt, and his mum trying to dissuade him.
Amazing.
No,
those Greg Lambert T-shirts, I'm a big fan of those. For
good.
those who haven't seen them, they are a parody of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, because Greg Lambert does share a striking resemblance with the evil megalomaniac. Say that 3 times fast.
No.
And it's an interesting T-shirt because there's not that many people who would want to wear a shirt with Greg Lambert's face on, but luckily it's, if you're a fan of The Simpsons and you're a fan of wrestling, throw them together, £5, why not?
Exactly. It all helps, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So yeah, he after being so confident over the last few weeks that he was going to help end the stick streak.
He's been saying this for ages now, hasn't he?
And even after last week, where he had the most heartfelt and quite emotional speech, I'd like to think of,
Certainly did.
about how Styx is, he was kind of right.
Yes.
With regarding it, because obviously there was the big announcement on Saturday as well.
Yes. I can safely say now that Styx has let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, that his back has been quite a problem for such a long time now. Weirdly enough, the wrestling isn't the main thing that's causing him the problems. It's a 4.5-hour drive up and back. Yeah. When you've got a bad back, to begin with, that's not going to help. And then when he comes up here, he's hardly going against tomato cans. He's always got the top contender every single night. Mm-hmm. So it's not surprising that his back's not been feeling too well. And Nathan Cruz, to his credit, took advantage of that very well. And I just want to say, get well soon to Nathan Cruz as well, because it turns out that he went into there with a concussion.
Right.
And considering that, his performance, his attitude backstage, everything, consummate professional.
You would not have known with how hard he was wrestling.
No,
with how hard he was going
for it. During that match, I came out myself. I was coming out there mainly because I just didn't know how far that was going to go. I just saw 2 guys kicking 7 shades out of each other. Greg was loving every second of it because it wasn't him getting beat up.
Yeah, obviously.
But seeing the pain that Styx was in during there, I wanted to make sure that Alan, our referee, was on top of it. He's a fantastic referee, but it's always good to have someone backing you up for major decisions, such as if you have to stop a match with such massive implications. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put that pressure on him, so I was willing to do it myself.
And I could see a couple of times you nearly did.
Yes, very close.
What was it that stopped you?
It was Styx himself. I was there at ringside, Greg saying to stop it, Nathan saying stop it, and I can see why. Styx could barely even stand. I spoke to Alan. I said to him, what's the situation? Because with the referee, not many people, I'm sure, are listening, have been referees, but you've got the huge crowd around you, but you always hear what the wrestlers are saying. You can always hear them. It's so important to be able to understand what they're going through. Styx kept telling him, no, he's carrying on. And had I not known Styx for the past 8 years that he's been on shows that I've been frequenting them, I've seen the things he's gone through and I've seen what he can do, and I don't want to admit responsibility for it, but I trusted him to know when he'd had enough, and in the end he came out on top, and evidently he knew when he'd had enough with the announcement that he made afterwards that the November 12th, the Remember, would be his last night in Morecambe Wrestling, which is definitely a sad night for most Morecambe Wrestling fans, but when you consider the stuff that he's gone through, and the opponents are not going to get easier for him, I can guarantee that.
Well, he's the champion, so as you say, all the top wrestlers in the UK are going to be gunning for him.
Exactly. He's got a wife, he's got a kid, he's got a training school, the House of Pain Training Academy, where he's training out the next generation of wrestlers. He really can't be risking a debilitating injury. I would hate to think that we've had any part in him, like being unable to play with his daughter or anything. That would absolutely just break my heart. That would destroy me. So when he made that announcement, I 100% supported him, and I'm looking forward to giving him a real send off on November 12th.
It's going to be emotional for sure.
It is massively so. He's been such a big part of it. Now, with regards to the same match, genuine question for you. I mean, Greg's been going on so long about how he's going to beat the streak and how he's going to help do it, and every single person let him down. He spoke last week as saying this is going to be the last person that's going to be able to do it. He was very frank on social media about the fact that he's now going, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He spoke over the last few weeks about people being great again. Last week, Dolph Ziggler being one of them. He spoke about a lot of stuff. What do you think could be next for him? Do you think he can come back from this?
Greg is a constant in Morecambe Wrestling. Whether he's been booker, promoter, announcer, manager, he's been there.
Yeah.
He's always there.
Yep.
Love him or hate him, Morecambe Wrestling's in his blood.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling's in his blood. He feels it. He's part of it. It's always on his mind. And I understand that completely because it's the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's always there. If he misses a show, I can guarantee he hates it. There's something. It's like he's missing out on something, almost like an addiction. I can't see Greg staying away from wrestling. There's no way that he's just going to go, oh, that's it, I give up. I definitely think in regards to Styx, it will be, especially with Styx retiring.
You were just saying that you can't see him saying that he gives up. Now, backstage, I was kind of grabbing some thoughts from some of the wrestlers, things like that, which obviously I do for the Alpha Omega YouTube channel. Yeah. Immediately after that main event, I grabbed hold of Greg Lambert as he made his way backstage, and this obviously hasn't gone on the YouTube channel yet. Okay. But I basically asked him. Because he's been rubbing this in our faces for weeks now. I'm going to do this. So I was a little bit smug, as I think I'm entitled to be.
You are.
So I basically said to him, Greg, you failed to end the stick streak yet again. What are you going to do now? What are you thinking? And he looked like a broken man. He legitimately looked like a broken man. He looked utterly defeated. And he said to me, he can't. That his conclusion. I'm paraphrasing here because I can't remember. Basically, what he said was that his conclusion. He can only conclude that Styx can't be beaten in Morecambe, and that he gives up. Now, whether he's giving up entirely or whether he just meant he's giving up with regards to trying to end the Styx streak, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not Greg Lambert, but
that's
who knows?
That's very interesting to hear. I would assume with Greg's, like I say, his passion for the wrestling, that he just gives up with the stick streak. I'm sure Greg is a big enough man inside to admit when he's beaten, when something is just not going to happen, such as I'm going to try and make sure Styx loses. Oh, it didn't happen. I'll try and make sure he loses now. Oh, it didn't happen. Constantly trying the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's definition of madness. Mm-hmm. Greg's been accused of being mad many a time, but I don't think he is. I think when he said that to you, it's like, I give up trying to end the stick streak. It can't be done. The guy will not allow anyone to beat him. Even when he can't stand up, he still doesn't give up.
Maybe.
So I think it's on to something else for Greg Lambert, but evidently not tonight's programme, wherever he is.
I know. Well, maybe you could take up cross-stitch or something.
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, you're being very impartial, which,
you need to be.
I appreciate that. For me, because the way you're talking, part of me almost felt sorry for Greg Lambert.
Yeah.
And then I went, what? Wait, no.
I'll
This
be
is
honest.
Greg Lambert we're talking about.
I felt
Do you know
that.
what, Greg? You didn't end the stick streak. Suck it. Okay? Basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I can understand because you two, you really get along, and I can tell that backstage. I can tell that on this show.
You've heard the show, clearly.
Oh,
yeah.
I listened to the show.
Yeah.
So you two definitely going against each other, and he has been so confident that Nathan Cruz is going to do it.
Exactly.
I can understand the confidence. I know how good Nathan Cruz is. I saw how good he was on Saturday. And again, it's one of those situations where you could be the best wrestler in the world, and just on that one day, you can't get it done. And that's how it was. And yeah, I think Styx is just one of those people who refuses to let it die.
From someone who's kind of sat on the outside, I mean, I always come to your shows as a fan, as someone who goes to watch the actual show.
Much appreciated.
The thing I saw is, you say that he's given up just trying to, beat the streak. You're glad that he didn't. I saw someone who broke. I saw someone who it looked like he'd given up. He looked like for him that was it. That was the end of the line.
Fair enough.
And the amount of times on the show, the last time we were in, he was talking about that. He was very sure that it was going to end. And I said, what happens if you don't? What happens if you don't beat it? What goes through your head? He did not have a plan.
No. Well, I think that's the sign of a successful person. Most people who are successful in their craft, they visualize something and they make it happen. Visualize success. If you visualize failure, that's in there. That's in your brain. You can see yourself losing. If you refuse to allow that to happen, you just visualize, I'm going to win. I'm going to succeed. Then you're going to succeed. The problem that he had is he was visualizing someone else's success. He was visualizing other wrestlers winning. He was visualizing Craig Collins ending the streak. He was visualizing Chris Ridgway ending the streak. He was visualizing Nathan Cruz ending the streak. And as much visualization as he wants to do, it's still leaving it in someone else's hands. And I can imagine if all you've thought about, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. It's like a gambler who's bet his mortgage on a match, essentially is what he's done. He's bet his reputation, he's bet everything that he is on that match and lost. I've never had a gambling issue, but I have been bankrupt, and I know it's one hell of a horrible situation to go through. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine that's how he felt emotionally that night. He put everything, he went, yep, all in, easy, got a straight, perfect, and then someone came in with a better hand and blew him out of the water. So I can understand why you saw a broken man there, because he probably was for that moment. Never count the man out.
I almost dread to think what he's doing now, to be honest with you.
This is a fair point.
I think that's the thing we've seen.
Because if he was stuck in traffic, surely he would have got in touch with you to say, yeah, I'm running late. So is he sat at home? Yeah, I was joking before about, crying at old pictures of himself, whatever. But is he actually, sat at home kind of taking stock, thinking, where do I go from here?
But on the other side of it, we've seen a kind
reevaluating his career in wrestling, I guess.
But not only that, we've seen a dark side to Lambert on this show sometimes. In wrestling in general, we've seen a very dark side of him.
Just a little bit.
Is he now going down that road even more?
Oh, I hope not. Nah,
I should have to think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've seen that before, and I really wouldn't want to see that again. Greg Lambert with a beard is not an attractive sight.
Fair enough. Greg did do one thing for us over the weekend, and that was get an interview with someone who won the Rumble. Won the Golden Chance Rumble over the weekend. He did a full interview that was 17 minutes long. If we played that now, we'd have no time to do anything else in the rest of the show.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what we've done is I've edited it a bit. I've got the first 4 minutes of the interview. If you want to hear the rest of it, and I promise you want to hear the rest of it. It's a fantastic interview with Laird Grayson and Bobby Roberts as well, talking about the referendum and the Golden Chance Rumble and everything like that. Everything to do with Alpha Omega Wrestling. Go to the TPISFOF network, which is on YouTube. Search for it. You'll be able to see the podcasts from the previous shows and also that interview as well, plus little videos that we stick up now and then. But we're going to do the full interview there.
Was this interview recorded before or after the show? Just for
it was
context?
Recorded after.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell.
Ah, right. Okay.
You can kind of tell with his voice.
Because
he seemed
obviously,
a bit downbeat.
Laird Grayson, the new Golden Chance trophy holder, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Basically means he's, for those of you who follow WWE, which obviously if you listen to this show you will do, it's basically a Money in the Bank briefcase, only it's trophy shaped.
It's trophy shaped,
and it has a different
Guaranteed
name.
title shot anytime within the next 12 months, and that's a scary gentleman to have it.
Very much so.
Definitely, an unexpected outcome for the match itself, but.
Very, very much so. So Greg was nice enough to get an interview with them after he just lost, basically. So here's the first part of it, and we'll come back after this.
Right, I am here. I've been invited into the referendum's dressing room. This is a real honour, actually, to be invited into the referendum's dressing room, particularly in the aftermath of what's just happened. Laird Grayson, the leader of the referendum, has become the Golden Chance trophy holder. He won the Golden Chance Rumble. I'm here with Laird Grayson and the enforcer of the referendum, one half of the Alpha Omega Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Bobby Roberts. Gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me into your dressing room.
Undefeated. He's undefeated, Bobby
Undefeated.
Roberts. Undefeated, Bobby
in
Roberts.
Alpha Omega Wrestling. Is this why you've got some of the finest monkey shoulder whiskey just to celebrate?
No, I've got this because it's a Saturday.
No, you don't need an excuse, really, do you? It could be any day of the week.
Nah, Bobby really doesn't need an excuse. You've probably seen his former guys where he was Steve Austin in person.
Yeah, got hit in the head.
Got hit in the head, got a concussion.
That happens a lot.
Thought it was Steve Austin. But just quickly, in regards to the Golden Chance, Greg, it's not about me, it's about the referendum. I've been saying this for 3 years now. We've known each other. Me and you have never really ran into each other in the wrestling ring, but we've spoke, and I've got great respect for you. And there was that show back in 2013, Battle of the Brits, where it was all Englishmen taking part for the time Paid Promotions Championship.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, that was before we brought in Scots.
I remember that, John. It was the first paid promotion show at the Globe Arena in
Exactly.
Morecambe.
Battle of the Brits, and it was Max Angelis, no longer wrestles in Morecambe. Styx, who won that night. At the time, you could say a rookie, Craig Collins, because he was building the name for himself, was in the final against Styx. Fantastic match, not going to take it away for any of them. And the fourth man was Luke Baxter.
Whatever happened to him?
Become a dormant, apparently. Fantastic shape. No, the guy isn't. I'm not going to knock him for that. The guy's in phenomenal shape. Aesthetically, stick him on a poster, he'd sell tickets. For some reason, he just didn't keep on with it. But I promised myself that night.
Can you do that? Stick a body on a poster and people just come to see him?
Apparently so.
Apparently so.
But I said that night that it didn't make sense that the Scots were underrepresented, the Welsh were underrepresented, and I made a vow, had said for years that I was going to take the gold north of the border, and now I finally have the chance. The referendum have the chance to win the Alpha Omega Championship, which I can imagine to the fans must be terrifying.
Paranoia, say.
Paranoia, definitely. Styx is champ, although saying that, he's got his retirement. Apparently, he's going to retire. Remember.
Yeah, I'd rather not talk about that. But anyway, let's go back to. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
Mr. Grayson. How does this compare? You know, tonight you've had some great nights with the referendum. You know, since you started bringing in the cream of Scottish wrestling, Mr. Roberts included, obviously, his tag team championship partner, the greatest young wrestler in the world today, Lewis Girvin. You've had guys like Wolfgang here. You've had Nikki Storm here, who's. I believe just debuted in NXT this week with Sanity and a new group. I mean, how does this compare to the other great nights you've had with the referendum? Is there anything you pick out? You'd say as a highlight
about tonight?
Well, no, about your whole run as the referendum.
About the whole run as the referendum. I think in general, it's actually a lot of people ask us, so do you have to get in some sort of character? They believe it's some sort of act.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's not. There is an underlying feel of
hatred.
Not hatred. I wouldn't say hatred. I lived in England for 7-8 years,
and that's not your fault.
I know. I moved back, but I'd say for me, it's the camaraderie. It is like a sort of brotherhood and sisterhood thrown into women. Viper's a fantastic talent, probably the best female in Europe today. Arguably one of the best in the world.
A few issues tonight, though, I noticed, during the Rumble.
These things happen, Greg. These things happen. But she's sort of the diamond in the crown.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, it all happens. But this probably ranks up there as one of the best things. I mean, as I said, it's not that Golden Chance trophy will be cashed in at some point, probably in the future. There's no rush. We can enjoy it. We currently hold the women's belts. We currently hold the tag belts. We now hold the Golden Chance trophy. I mean, if we were to cash in, we could probably bail out the English economy with the amount of gold we're holding at the moment.
Easily.
But it's...
There we go. So that was the first bit of the interview that Greg did with the referendum. The rest of it's going to go up tomorrow on the TPISFOF network, so you can tune into that there. Yeah, you could kind of tell he was a bit not happy.
Yeah,
Greg wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite a nice interview with him. The rest of it's fantastic as well.
I just want to pick up on something that Laird Grayson said there, though, just because I'm... I don't know. He just said I've got the Golden Chance trophy. I'm probably going to cash that in at some point. It's probably going to be in the future. Well, I mean, unless he's going to go back in time and do it. Come on.
I think what he meant by that was later on in the 12 months rather than earlier. Yeah, he'd rather do, instead of rushing it and possibly screwing it all over, wait to see how the Styx title picture plays out and then plan on that. Because Grayson is definitely a planner. He's a schemer. He always plans things ahead. He never goes rushing in and goes, let's just do that.
All right.
Everything's a plan. I mean, look how he did in the Rumble.
All right, Captain Diplomacy.
Of course.
A couple of things about Saturday's show. The next one is going to be Lana Austin versus Viper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big thing.
2 years in the making.
And it's a no
interference,
no shenanigans match.
Yes, it's going to be straight down the middle, one-on-one. It's just those two and the referee, no one else at ringside. When Lana made her debut in 2014, it was a 4-way match against three of the highest rated women's wrestlers in the country and possibly in the world. Kaylee Ray, Viper, and Nikki Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And on that night, those three all joined the referendum, beat up Lana Austin, and pinned her all together in what has become an iconic photo, really, in British wrestling.
That's an amazing photo, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Tony Knox, as always, doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
But at the bottom of that picture was a debuting Lana Austin, who was so enthusiastic. I can't wait to debut in front of the Morecambe crowd, and that happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that lit a fire under her. So for the past 2 years, she's been wanting to get a revenge. She's got wins over everyone else in the referendum, except for Viper. And when she's the one who's got the belt, that's the one that counts. So
Very
that
true.
match is going to be huge.
Looking forward to it. The other thing about Saturday's show is we got a letter.
Okay.
We got a letter.
Okay.
I always...
I know, you always dread this
I'm
part.
always filled with a sense of dread.
Dear Mark, Greg and Leanne, I hope you're all well. I'm sorry I didn't make it to the show on Saturday. It took me 3 hours to find the dome. And
Wow.
I know. And by the time I
Where
did...
was...
He found it.
Well, he just
Wow.
he says...
That's impressive.
He says, and by the time I did, I found out Marvel Universe Live was on, so I watched that instead. I think he was in London.
Okay.
I'm gutted I didn't make it to the show because I heard of what Greg said about letting me be the mascot. So I'm wondering, what do I do to persuade you it's a good idea?
Get my name right for starters.
I hope you're all having a good night. Yours and still the hottest free agent in community radio, Keith Slater.
Keith Slater.
Keith Slater, yeah. Keith Slater, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So there we go.
No, basically.
This is one area I'm not going to be diplomatic. No.
Oh, fair enough. We've got to do fantasy wrestling now, obviously, because Greg's not here.
We don't have to play one of those god-awful jingles.
No, we don't.
Yay!
No, we don't at all.
Suck it, Greg.
There's not
This
much...
week's show is brought to you by Greg Lambert sucking it.
There's not much I can say. He's posted up the results. The league table goes Shining Wizards in
As
first
always,
place,
yeah.
59.
Uh-huh.
Silent but Deadly second with 56.
God damn you,
I'm
Mark.
doing
God
well.
damn
Well
you.
done.
Mew, what a puss, with 40. Force Against My Will, 24.
What?
Forces of Evil, you've got 18 points. You've lost 5.
Ah!
It could be worse. You could be my team.
Total Divas, you're actually 2 under him with 9 points.
See?
Between
I stand to be beaten by Team Total Divas.
between the two of them, Band's World Order with 10 points. Faces and Eights with 4. Go for Broke with 4. Team Why Just Why
Yeah.
with 1. And then the Underdogs with minus 36.
Did I mention that I hate wrestling? Did I mention
Just
that?
you wait. Once Eva Marie's back, my team's going to shoot right up.
Oh, God. What is your team going to shoot right up? No, let's not go there.
We got a message from Greg who says, Star of the Week, nobody deserves it. Dummy of the Week, you're all dummies. I think he's
What?
sulking.
Oh, flipping heck.
Yeah, I think he's insulting. And there's a transfer window. You have until this Sunday at midnight to change your teams. You can change one member of your team if you wish. You must remain within budget and within the rules of fantasy wrestling. Also, I will accept one more brand new team into the fantasy wrestling league if anyone wants to join. See
Okay.
full rules at the bottom of the post. So
Obviously,
if
he's
you go
got
to,
a lot more time on his hands now, hasn't he?
he has,
So,
yeah, he's not preparing for anything. So if you want to go to the this program is scheduled for 1 4 Facebook group, go on there, you'll be able to join. Note, SilentMark's one change must be from the NXT Deadpool, replacing Raw or SmackDown wrestler due to Bayley's switch to NXT to Raw. Silent but Deadly now has only one NXT member, so I need to change something.
Okay. So we're all allowed one transfer, staying within budget.
Yeah, we're all allowed one transfer.
Interesting.
You'll be able to see the rest of that on there. You need to stay within budget. That's all I've got from Greg. That's the only note he gave me.
I guess all the details are going to be on the official TPISFOF Facebook group.
Indeed, you do.
For those of you who want to go and check out what's going on, where you stand, and the rules regarding the transfer window thingy. I'm guessing it's all going to be on there.
It'll all be on there.
Cool. So go and have a look.
Go and have
And
a look.
also, give the page a like and share it about while you're at it.
Yeah.
Might as well. Might as well
just do
something
it.
to do, isn't it?
Go on, just do
Something
it.
to do.
Just do it.
Got to have something to do.
Yeah. So, enough of Alpha Omega for the moment,
Yeah.
because we've got a full lot of wrestling.
There's been a
that's
whole
happened.
week of pro wrestling
That's
that's
happened this week, and also
whole
that's
week of it.
happening at the weekend.
Oh, yet another pay-per-view.
Yet another pay-per-view.
It's been at least a week since the last one, so let's have another one,
And
WWE.
actually, I'm actually quite looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm glad somebody is.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I know there's one or two matches that I have some sort of want to watch.
I was looking forward to Backlash.
I wasn't looking forward to Backlash,
I
but I
enjoyed
was
it.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So in that vein, I think the Raw one could also be enjoyable, but I'm not putting any hope into it looking at the card.
I'm looking forward to Clash of Champions. See? There you go, Mick Foley.
Clash of the Titans.
Clash of Champions, yeah. That'll work it as well, Mark. Even less than I was looking forward to Backlash, and I had zero expectations for Backlash. Okay,
let's
so I have negative expectations for Clash of Champions, and I still have this feel. No, I have this feeling I will still be disappointed.
It's gotta be awful.
Well, let's
I know.
Let's talk about Championship Manager in a bit. Let's
Champion of Champions.
yes. Let's talk about what's happened this week so far in the wrestling. What's caught your evil eye this week, Lee?
What's caught my evil eye? Watching Raw, I was trying to remain interested.
Yeah.
It was difficult this week. Things that stood out for me: Seth Rollins definitely seems to be turning face.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's a thing.
The thing is, I've noticed on Raw, everyone's a heel.
Yes.
Everyone on Raw is a heel.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks,
Even the faces are
but she's
heels.
acting like a heel.
Oh,
Seth Rollins
God.
is technically, he's like face by proxy, but he's still acting like a heel. Kevin Owens is a heel. Chris Jericho is a heel. Everyone's a heel. I think the only face on Raw is Bayley, unless she's just going to go through and squash everyone. Someone's going to have to act like a face. I mean, I love Bayley. I think she's fantastic, but she can't be the only face on Raw.
Well, my next point was going to be, again, Sasha Banks acting like a heel, which ties in exactly to what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Even though she's ostensibly being positioned as a face, she's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
She's just horrible.
Yes.
Mark, Charles, she's horrible.
I'd go with
I
it.
agree.
I would go with it.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. The thing I found with Sasha Banks is she's definitely... I like to watch wrestling, suspend my disbelief, and buy into the characters.
Yeah.
When someone comes out there and is clearly playing a part, I pick up on it straight away. She comes out and she's like, "Ooh, I'm cool because I'm playing a cool person." But you can see she's not a naturally cool person. She seems like she'd be quite the nerdy, geeky wrestling fan type person, kind of like AJ Lee was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of playing to that, AJ Lee even skipped to the ring to play on the fact that she's quirky, she's different, she's not and yet Sasha Banks is there with all the cool stuff, with the cool music that has nothing to do with the character and all that stuff, and it seems like she's trying too hard, and I just don't get it.
I also hate her voice.
I can't do anything about that.
I know, it just, it's like fingers down a chalkboard.
Her weird pronunciation of stuff.
Every time she cuts a promo, I don't know. It's like the tonality of her voice.
Okay.
It really grates on me. Every time she cuts a promo, it's like chewing tinfoil.
Which,
it's horrible.
if she was a heel, would be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
When Maurice comes out, and Maurice can speak much better English than she lets on.
Yeah.
She comes out, she cuts a promo, she intentionally mispronounces words, she sounds more snooty than she naturally is because she's a heel.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks comes out and is sounding really heelish and how she's the boss and how she's in charge, and you're like...
She doesn't seem massively pleasant.
No, not at all.
She seems like more apathetic than anything else.
Yeah.
Like she's neither.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
So they need to hurry up and turn her
She's
heel.
got ability. She's definitely got ability.
But then if they turn her heel...
More heels.
More heels for Raw. Yay. And then they're going to change the name of Raw to Monday Night Heels.
Hey, it could lead to a push for Alicia Fox.
All right, here's another... slight random tangent. Okay. So since the brand split, we've got Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live.
Yes.
Because SmackDown is now live.
Yes.
They need to get rid of the word live from the name.
Yes. We know it's live.
Let's call it SmackDown.
It's not Raw Live and SmackDown Live. It's
No.
just SmackDown. Just call it
Exactly.
SmackDown.
Yes.
Yeah, but would
We
you call
know
it?
it's live.
But would you call it Tuesday Night SmackDown?
No.
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 So just
I think,
Monday Night
I think
Raw.
Monday Night Raw is only called Monday Night Raw because of history. It's just a nostalgia thing. People remember it being Monday Night Raw. It's why they called WCW Monday Nitro, because it sounded to the Southerners like Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
That's why they called it Monday
You
Nitro.
dick it
It was straight up to just a parody on the name. So yeah, Monday Night Raw is Monday Night Raw because that's always how it's always been. Just call it SmackDown already.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I would
just
hate
SmackDown.
I mean,
We get it. It's live.
it is live, and in
It
my
has been
opinion, and a lot of people I talk to agree with me, SmackDown since the brand split has been more entertaining than Raw.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Do you think so? The news came out that Paige isn't going out.
Isn't done with WWE.
Isn't done with WWE. When do you think she's coming back, and what do you think she'll do when she does get back? What do you think, in your opinion?
Pay-per-view involvement in the women's title match, bring an actual face into it.
So you think you'll think she'll be face?
I think she'll be face. I reckon Bailey getting ganged up on by heels, everyone's beating her up. Paige runs out. There's that scream, which I think is brilliant for her music because you need something to just get people's attention. That comes in, everyone's like, oh, what's going on? She just runs in, cleans house, helps Bailey up. Boom, you got a face. And people will just forget everything because it's just like, yeah, another woman on the women's brand, more bodies, the better. SmackDown, you see that they have a thriving women's division every week. On Raw, you tend to forget that it's not just Sasha and Charlotte.
Yeah.
So to bring another one in, it's like, oh, this division could be going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think fantastic for her because she's still young. She still has the potential to have a really long career.
Yes, she does.
She could easily become the longest serving women's roster member in WWE history, not counting Moolah's disappearing for 20 years and coming back, obviously. And that would be one hell of an accolade for her. And she's got the ability to do that as well. All she needs to do is just stay relevant in that time, which is the difficult part. Whether that means flip-flopping like the Big Show, or whether that means just being happy with not being the champion all the time. Like people like the Bellas or Alicia Fox, they've been there for a while because every now and then they've just been the one on Velocity or the one on Sunday Night Heat, which is fine. Because in like a couple months' time, we need someone to go for the title. Boom. Paige is there. The fans react to her. The guys like her. She's got a different look to everyone else, which is huge in wrestling. So perfect. I think fantastic that she's staying there. Brilliant for her. I would hate to think that she'd give it up for a fella. I would hate to think that would happen. That would be horrible.
Well, as you said, she's got a potential to, have a really good career.
Oh, yeah.
She's also got possibly, arguably more potential to throw her potential career down the drain. But that's, I guess, was the source of debate lately, and it seems like she hasn't really done that.
I'm sure she's smart enough not to.
Yeah. So,
That's the thing, she's got youth on her side, and also youth is up against her as well, because she will go into it head first and be completely in a way with it.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Which, one of the downsides of achieving so much so early. She's been champion. She's been at WrestleMania. She's been the face of the division. She's done all that. So lots of people will go, oh, where do you go from there? But there's lots of people who've done a lot early and still have a long career.
Yeah.
The Miz was WWE champion, but I still feel he's nowhere near his peak. I think The Miz is going to be the top heel in the company moving forward. And he's not reached that point yet. He's been champion, mainly because they needed a heel at that time, and he was there, not because he was at his best. And the same for her. They needed someone to take the belt off AJ. She was a nice shock. That was good. But she's still miles away from her potential peak of a career. So I'm sure she'll do the right thing and go, I've got a career here. I've got a job for life if I want it.
Yeah.
She's good enough. She's got the pedigree in it, and she's got the ability, so no reason not to.
Well, fingers crossed she comes back soon.
Yeah.
Because Raw needs someone.
Definitely.
Raw needs someone. Going on to SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yay.
What do you think?
Fantastic. I'm always a fan of women's wrestling. Always have been a fan of women's wrestling. There's always someone or something to draw you into it, even in like the dark days when, like, there wasn't much more than bra and panties matches and mud. There's always someone like the Molly Hollies or the Ivories that will just go, wow, this is a cracking match. And right now, there's lots of those women around. I think the SmackDown's women's division is amazing. You've got a lot of talent from Naomi to Becky Lynch and so on. And then you've got the draw of, in my opinion, one of the best heels in wrestling in the world, Eva Marie. She legit hate from fans. They hate her.
So they're not Harley Quinn then?
Alexa Bliss, not Harley Quinn.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Harley Quinn, yes.
Yes.
Modelling her look after the movie one, which clearly wasn't modelled after the comic or the cartoon. But yes, I think she's fantastic. 5 foot of fury. She says she's done a brilliant job of making herself relevant to come up from NXT and then immediately go for the titles. A scary proposition to go for. And she's just grabbed it with both hands and gone, I'm going for this. She cut a traditional heelish promo of, I've won everything I've ever done. I was born to be a champion. I'm going to take your belt. And then Becky Lynch, who I think is brilliant, fantastic
I think she's
wrestler,
wonderful. Yeah.
cuts this promo, which I thought was genius. Whether she came up with it or was written for her, I don't know, but it was genius. And her whole point was, I wasn't born to be a champion. I was never destined to win a title. I just worked my arse off and became a champion. And I think that's a lot more inspiring to young girls who don't feel that they've been given a good hand.
Yeah.
If you can look up to someone who's gone, yeah, I was given a crap hand, but I worked my arse off and now I'm a champion, they'll go, I can do that too. I mean, she's not got the best promo voice in the world. She's not got the most the best look for wrestling, if you know what I mean. Like the Bellas look like someone you would design for wrestling. Trish Stratus looked like someone who you'd put on the cover and go, there's someone who's supposed to be champion. She didn't look like that. She's worked at it. She's changed her look. She's changed her attitude. She's changed her style. She's made something better each time she's evolved, and she's clearly just working non-stop to be the best she can be.
Yeah.
And it's worked for her, and she's a worthy champion for, in my opinion, the top women's title in the company right now.
Well, I mean, I think I said this the other week after Backlash, that the women's title match, which opened that show,
yes,
I really enjoyed.
What a match.
And considering that, okay, as you just said, you're a fan of women's wrestling, but certainly in WWE, often, the women's matches have often been considered toilet break matches.
Yeah.
And so when the show started, and then, okay, we're gonna kick off with the women's championship match, I'm like, oh, come on. Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna open the show with a toilet break match?
The first thing I said when they said we're going to open the women's match, I went, fantastic.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'd do. Not only does it set you apart from Raw, where they have kept the women's title in the toilet break position, they've kept everything as it was on Raw. Don't change it. They're typical Vince McMahon. If it's worked for so long. Oh.
Hang on a second. Firstly, that's not meant to happen, but we're getting a phone call. Hang on.
That is happening.
It is happening.
It's quite
Hello?
literally happening right now.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Am I through to this program is scheduled for One Fall Studio?
You are, yes.
This is Greg the Truth Lambert here.
Oh, Lambert, finally.
How you doing?
How's it going?
You know how Nathan Cruz is the show stealer? Well, you can now call me the show saver. I'm here to save your show because I've listened for 45 minutes, and let me tell you something. You really are missing me, aren't you?
You do realise I've got a hang-up button here, right, Greg?
Well, I thought you'd want to hear from me. I had better things to do this evening to be in the studio, and I know you've been speculating, so I'm on here to set the record straight. There's nothing to do with any sulking going on.
Well, it's nice for you to turn up to your own show. Yeah.
Finally.
It's nice for you.
I didn't quite hear that squeaky. Was that you, SilentMark? The squeaky voice there in the background.
Yes, it was. Yes. It's nice for you to turn up to your own show.
Rare. He's not happy, is he?
No, he's not.
Wow.
I've had better things to do this evening than appear on the show. You know, I've been finishing off my book, which is coming out soon. My sequel to Holy Grail: The True Story of British Wrestling's Revival, which will pick up the story of the great comeback of British wrestling. I can exclusively tell you the name of the book on the show. Shall I give you an exclusive?
Go on, Em.
Can I tell you right now for all your
Holy
listeners?
Grail 2, is it?
Holy Grail. Holy Grail 2. Holy Grailer.
No, I'm not going to tell you because they don't deserve it. But I've stuck a face pack on, just to make my skin even smoother than it is already, and just generally been chilling out. But I heard Lewis earlier on and Charles Nelson Riley speculating. Lewis would love to think that I'm going to be like Styx and quit, but no, I'm not quitting. What I said to you after the show, Lewis, on Saturday night was basically me conceding that if I am not capable of finding someone to end the Styx streak, then nobody can. If I can't do it, nobody can. So that's all it was, plain and simple. Remember, November the 12th, I'm still contracted to the Priority Chris Ridgway. Riddy, unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond his control, his American tour has fallen through. He's going to be back on November the 12th. I will be in his corner, and it'll be business as usual. And one thing I'd just like to say about Nathan Cruz is I agree with what you said earlier, that he was the consummate professional, and although he didn't end the Styx streak, he's gone almost better than that, almost gone one better. He will go down in history as the man who retired Styx.
Do you not think that he was going to retire anyway, whether the result of the match went his way or not?
No, I don't. I think that he realised that he could very easily have lost on Saturday night. The referee was on the verge of stopping the match. He would have actually stopped the match had Styx not intercepted his hand in midair as he was gesturing to the timekeeper to ring the bell. And that's a fact. That is absolutely true. Everybody saw it. If Styx wrestles one more match, he will lose. There's no two ways about it. So, I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I mean, I like I said before, it's difficult to say, really, isn't it? The guy just seems to, I don't know. He just seems to find this other level when he's in Morecambe. Maybe he will lose, maybe he won't, maybe... I don't know. I really don't know.
You said yourself he can't be beaten in Morecambe. You told me that on Saturday night.
I'm not contradicting myself, Lewis.
No, of course not. Doesn't sound like it at all.
I wouldn't do that, no. But,
So-
but the fact remains, do you know what? I'm going to give Sticks... I'll give Sticks some credit. I'll give him some credit, I mean, I'm not going to make excuses. You quite rightly said that Nathan Cruz went into that match with an injury, which we did not disclose because we didn't want to make any excuses. But Sticks found a way to win, and you've got to give the guy credit for that. I just don't think. I don't know. I don't think that he can be beaten in Morecambe, but I don't know. I really don't know.
So when you said to me after the show on Saturday that you give up, just to clarify that you're not giving up, you're not quitting wrestling.
No, I'm not going into cross-stitching. What was that ridiculous? I'd like to stitch
go on.
your mouth, Lewis.
Go on.
That's about the only thing I'd like to use a needle and thread for.
So you're definitely not going to quit?
No, absolutely not. Like I said before,
Go on.
November the 12th, remember, Chris Ridgway, I'm working at the moment with Charles Nelson Riley. I've been talking to him because I'm not really sure what Stallion's status is as the matchmaker after he punched. That was disgraceful, by the way. He punched Laird Grayson in the face.
Grayson had it coming. Come on.
The Golden Chance trophy. But I'm negotiating with the management of Alpha Omega Wrestling for Chris Ridgway to have a match on November the 12th. And I'm also negotiating if Styx is going to vacate the Alpha Omega Wrestling Championship, which I believe he's going to do on November the 12th, then Ridgway should get a championship match.
So that's
that for me, he's the obvious number one contender.
So your next goal then is no longer the stick streak, but now just the title.
Well, we can't end the stick streak, can we? Because A, I don't think it can be done. B, we don't want. I mean, I suppose the other thing really is we don't want to kill the man, do we? I mean, it's getting to that stage where you just worry about his long-term health. So I'm going to back off from that. Styx is retiring anyway. The show stealer has ended his career. Ridgway next for the champion. He should be the next champion.
Fair enough.
One man's opinion there. I'm not too sure I agree on that part, but yeah, I do agree that health is paramount, and Styx's last night in Morecambe, it would be more than a shame. It would be an absolute nightmare if it were to end with him wrestling a match and exacerbating his injury to the point where he can't wrestle anymore. So I would rather he come, we can say goodbye to him officially instead of just him leaving after a match, and then he can leave and with his body still intact and with his family there with it by his side. That'd be fantastic.
That's true. And then maybe when he relinquishes the championship on November the 12th, he could just hand it straight to Chris Ridgway. That would save you having to have any kind of match for the vacant championship. Think of all the paperwork that you'd save on, Charles. All the ink.
No, as Styx did when we first crowned the champion.
And have done with it.
When we first crowned the Alpha Omega champion, we guaranteed that it wouldn't be like so many other promotions before us where they just gave someone a title. If people are going to have to fight for it. If Styx is vacating the championship, we will sort something out, whether it be a tournament, whether it be a multi-man match, whether it be a rumble. We'll work something out where someone will be crowned a champion and they will earn that title.
Whatever. Okay, well, I've said my piece. I've explained myself. I've put a few rumours to bed. And I will be back in person on the show next week. And I am not, I repeat, not going to do a Styx and retire.
Oh, go on.
No, you're just going to come back with your tail between your legs.
No, there's no disgrace in doing your best and coming up short. And like I said,
very noble.
Nathan Cruz may not have beaten Styx, but he broke him. You talk about me being a broken man. Styx was the broken man in the ring at the end of that show, to the point that he's actually now saying he's not going to wrestle in Morecambe again. So to me, that's almost as good as a win. We'll get our place in history as the men who ended Styx's career.
Fair enough. Is that you done then, Greg? Is that it?
That's all I have to say. Yeah, I'm going to go back and this face pack's rather soothing, actually. I might keep it on for a while longer.
Is it a face pack or is it tears?
I think
There's no tears, like I said. You know, you live to fight another day, and you know, Charles Nelson Riley for once actually put it very eloquently earlier on, in that, you know, wrestling is in my blood, and you know, there's always the next time.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for coming on your own show, Greg. It's lovely to hear from you.
all right, later, loser.
You're such a child.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. So that was Greg the Truth Lambert there.
Oh, it was nice to hear his voice again.
It was lovely, wasn't it?
I didn't come across as smug at all there, did I, guys?
Of course not, Lewis.
No,
It's
I
not
didn't
like
think
you
so.
at all.
I didn't
You're
think so.
fine.
Yeah.
So going back on to SmackDown, what else grabbed you from this week's SmackDown?
One thing for me for SmackDown.
Go on.
Kurt Hawkins.
That was really weird.
Terrible, awful, garbage.
I honestly
I wanted to
thought-
scoop my own eyeballs out with a melon baller.
When I first saw his promos popping up, I thought, oh, they're going with a Chuck Norris type gimmick.
He's not Chuck Norris.
This could work really well.
Kurt Hawkins
if
is not
it's
Chuck Norris.
executed right. But if people remember, Kurt Hawkins was the other guy in that tag team with Zack Ryder. And
He
when
was
Zack
one
Ryder's
of the edge
memorable
guys.
One,
Yeah.
then you're in a worrying position. I don't think there's anything against Kurt Hawkins. I'm sure he's a great wrestler. He's definitely putting the effort in to try with this gimmick. I just think there's better people out there. It just seemed like it was one of those, oh, Shelton's injured, we need another name to come back. Who's available?
What was with the stupid accent? Why was he talking like this? What was that? What was he doing?
Maybe he's channeling the number one thing in professional wrestling right now, broken Matt Hardy.
Maybe.
No.
Let's be honest, the best thing in wrestling right now is broken Matt Hardy.
he's
By
got
far and
ways.
away. There you go. Him and his premonitions. By far and away, the best thing in wrestling right now. And
Absolutely.
If people
Absolutely.
are watching that, they're going to think, right, people are watching TNA to see him. And at the moment, that's all they're watching TNA for.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can be that much of a draw, why not try and do something like that over here? I don't think they should do it when they've already got a gimmick. If someone said to Kurt Hawkins, right, we're doing a Chuck Norris gimmick with you, you know, with these, you know, although to be honest with you, the first person they did that with was Matt Hardy. He can slap a tornado and all that stuff, if you remember that. The Matt
I
Fact
don't
Strange
remember that
entrance.
now.
Oh, Matt Hardy version 1.
Okay,
Not the Shocker, obviously, V1. And the idea being that he, you know, all these Matt Facts were things, and it was even in his entrance music. But that they did it with Matt Hardy first, so it's ironic that if that's what he was doing something Matt Hardy-esque, that's who he's copying from.
Yeah.
Do you not think Heath Slater is their current comic relief? I like to think of it as.
Definitely, yes. I think honestly, I think there's legs on the Heath Slater gimmick. I think if they go down the road of like his whole T-shirt, I've got kids, I need this job. That's fantastic. I think if it turns out that he's paid this family to pretend to be related to him, so we can get sympathy from Shane McMahon, and we can play on that. Hello.
Hello? Hang on.
You got to answer first.
Hello?
I just remembered something, and I'm going to say it because
God.
I annoy Evil Lewis intensely.
What?
Preston City Wrestling have a show on Saturday night at Club Evoke in
Right,
Preston.
hang
I'm
up.
going to plug it right now.
Hang up now.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bubblegum 2 is on the show. Tables, ladders and chairs. Team single versus hooligans. Are you
Mark,
still there?
The button's right there, Mark. The button's right there.
I've got to be nice.
And Noam Dar's last booking in England before Noam Dar goes to become part of the Cruiserweight division on Raw. Must have had its debut on Monday. Noam Dar's going to be there as well. Doors at 5 o'clock. I'm going to be commentating.
There we go. That'll do me. He gave all the information he needed, didn't he?
Whatever.
So we're nearly the end of the show.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Do we have a card? Do we have the card for?
I'll have to get the card. won't I?
for Clash of Clashes.
Let's see what I can remember. We got Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, Mr. WrestlePedia over here.
Yes, it's Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Strawberry Laces Championship.
The Fruit Winders title, yeah.
Fruit Winders title.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens going over. They're not going to take the belt off him straight away, even though he is the longest reigning Universal Champion in history.
Of course he is.
I don't think they're going to take it off him this early. They need to build the title around him to make him look like he's a credible champion, not just another transitional champ. So that's fair enough.
Yep.
The women's title, is it a triple threat?
It is a triple threat match.
Bayley,
You've got
Sasha Banks and Charlotte.
You've got that.
Charlotte's going in as champion
Yep.
because they took the belt off Sasha because of her injury.
Yep.
So there's a possible chance